Hello, today for review I've got another recently released model made by KZ. You probably can see it by this box. As a recently released model named AS10, this one is also using 5 balanced armatures per side. And I still don't know what balanced armatures are there and how do they tune, so I am evaluating them as one single product in general, don't going into deep details about crossover tuning and so on and so forth. They named this model BA10 and once again they increased a bit price tire. Now they cost $75 and it's already pretty expensive for KZ, who are known as creator of some affordable models. Let's have now a closer look. As for AS10, for BA10 they using another bit different box. It's black. It's almost have no polygraphy, just some marking about color schema and basic information about the created company that created them. Inside you will have in-ear monitors themselves. Yep, as you can see, their shape is really unusual. But anyway, I will pull them out. So there is some metal insert here, some attempts to create some luxury view, but it would be better if they simply put some better accessories set. So with this IEMs you will have cable. It looks like new. It's not looking like previous versions of cable from KZ, but it's still some basic cable, and you will have 2 pair of extra tips and that's all. But for $75 I think that they definitely could put some, at least few more tips. Speaking about design and build quality, probably KZ were too excited in their attempts to create some unusual looking IEMs. As you can see, they are definitely stands out from typical in-ear monitors. They have well, strange look, and probably they will have strange fit. Surprisingly, into my ears they fit without any issues, you know, despite having all these sharp edges and not typical shape. So let me compare them with AS10. As you can see, AS10 are more ergonomic and smooth, but as I've said before, in my ears they fit pretty okay. They have normal length of spout, angled, so normal insertion. Here is protective grill, so normal insertion, average sound isolation and pretty normal secure fit. But I definitely, in this case, I think they won't fit easily to many ears, so they are probably better try before you buying. They are made of metal and made nicely, but shape and design is pretty controversial. And there are 2 color schemas. I've got this red and gold one. Also there is a black body version with black bodies and red outer shells. So this one is for Iron Man fans. Cable of course is made replaceable. It's typical for the KZ models. Let me see which one is which. So this is right ear. They have 2 pin sockets with recessed sockets. Let me connect it. Here they are designed to be worn over the ear, of course. They fit into ears this way. There is memory part with memory wire effect, so you can bend it to form ear hooks. And here goes regular cable. It has a bit of microphonic, but over the ear wearing allows you to avoid that. It's not getting hard when it's cold. It's pretty soft, not easy to tangle, so pretty average cable, but for this price range it's more than acceptable. And it goes way down below to the typical for company angle jack, so in terms of build quality it's a good model and about the design, let's say tastes differ, and probably someone will like it, someone won't like it, but fit won't be easy for many listeners. And to speak about the sound, I will need some player, of course, and in this case it will be my newest DAB in my collection. Yes, it's Fios M3K. I'm not sure in which order I will release the reviews. I've just got it, but maybe I will release the review of this player sooner than this earphones. But as you can see, I don't remove this protective film yet. But maybe BA10 review will be out before, so at the moment this review will be out, we will know that for sure, but for now it's a bit of mystery, at least for me. So in terms of sound, actually lower part of sonic spectrum is tuned almost the same way as in AS10. Probably for low frequencies they're using the same driver with same frequency cuts at the crossover, because even frequency response shows that below let's say 500 Hertz lows are frequency response is absolutely the same, but on the upper frequencies they dropped sound a little bit, so it's a more relaxed upper part of sonic spectrum, and this causes BA10 sound a bit darker and probably with a bit more noticeable lows impact. Actually they have the same amount of lows, but because of upper mids and treble is a bit reduced compared to AS10s, they sound lows here are more noticeable. So lows are really good, especially if you like accented lows, because sound signature tuning here is definitely V-shaped. If you like accent on lows, you will get it. You will get it in both in terms of quantity and in terms of weight, in terms of impact. So they, for this price range, they have normal resolution, not superb but normal. They have a good level of rumble and pretty fun amounts. Lows go pretty deep, even especially for an expensive balanced armature model, and they are controlled pretty normal. Of course it's not some more expensive models, but anyway. As an illustration for the low frequencies, let me see what I've prepared. It's Nightwish, my favorite album Imaginarium, and a song named Slow Love Slow. I think almost everyone heard this song. It's like some kind of cabaret music, not typical for the Nightwish, but it has really great cello part and pretty good slow tempo, and this cello, or maybe it's acoustic bass, actually not yes, it's called cello, but probably it's an acoustic bass. It goes pretty deep and requires nice level of realism from the headphones, and BA10 plays it pretty good, not perfect but good. So mids are, as I've said, recessed, but and moved a little back on the second stage, so they have normal resolution, but on bass heavy tracks they will be shadowed a little bit by bass. So if you are bass head, probably for you it will be a plus, but if you like forward mids, it's definitely not a model for you. Mids have good resolution, pretty good layering and so on, because balanced armatures are still balanced armatures. If they'd be a bit more forward, probably model will be more universal and more audiophilic tuning, but now it's more like mass tuning with accent on lows and treble to create pleasant sounding. Imaginary stage is a bit above average in width and about average in depth. Three-dimensional positioning is normal, once again not superb but normal. And they are pretty good in representing emotions, especially on male vocal. For female vocals, this recessed mids probably stealing part of emotions. As an illustration, I've prepared another pretty well-known song. It's Wild Honey, covered by Hugh Laurie. Of course, it's famous actor, but I like him as a singer even more, because he really has a taste in music. He selects perfect tracks and performs them with perfect style. And Wild Honey has a really good recorded vocal, and this track sounds really engaging and pretty fun. And treble here probably pretty close, you know, to the AS10. Treble have a slight accent, but not too big to sound too harsh. Of course, it's subjective, probably, at least for me. The treble has good resolution, attacks and decays are simplified, layering is missing, but we're still speaking about some not expensive model. But what I like here, treble has normal extension, and I like it. They are not cut, and they are not limited on the upper treble, at least to my taste. They provide a good amount of overtones, of airiness, lightness and sound and so on. To demonstrate it, this part, I prepared a bit unusual track. As I'm living now in Montenegro, I'm really interested in former Yugoslavian and Serbian, Montenegrin, well, let's say former Yugoslavian rock stage. And one of the most famous bands and groups, it's Ekaterina Velika, or in short EKV or YKV, really band that moved limits of local rock scene and created some really remarkable songs. Unfortunately, almost all members of this band is died. You know, live fast and die young. It's pretty tragical history. You can Google the name of this group and probably read about them. But still, they created few really impressive songs, and probably the most impressive is Par Godina za nas. Sorry, I need to pronounce it with correct pronunciation. Par Godina za nas, few years for us. Song, if I remember right, this song was recorded in 1989, well, pretty close to the tragic events in former Yugoslavia, and the song is filled with this sense of coming conflict, and it makes it really well. It makes the song some prediction of coming events, and it makes it even more tragic. But still, this song is really nice, and it sounds, I think, still pretty fresh and pretty unusual. And their former drummer released album with remastered versions of these tracks, and probably partially remixed, and I got this album, and it's really better recorded than in 1989. Of course, not 1998, 1989, yes, it's correct year. And it has a really good treble with all these percussions, and BA10 really proves themselves normal in with this track, so it sounds pretty airy and pretty spacious, so I like it. Speaking about comparisons, I won't do a lot of comparisons because this sonic part is already took some time, and probably the only comparison I will do, it's AS10 versus BA10. Besides different shape and build quality, this one is made of metal, it's probably better, and this one is pure plastic. Anyways, those have a bit more forward upper mids and treble, so this one is a bit closer to typical audiophilic tuning. So if you want more forward mids, this version is for you. And if you want more low frequencies, for example for some electronic music, for some pop music and so on, probably BA10 will be a better option for you in this case. So to summarize, you know, these earphones are really left me with mixed impressions. I can say that their sound for this price range is pretty normal. Not superb, but not bad. Definitely it's not everyone's cup of tea or not everyone's piece of cake or something like that, but I think they can be really interesting if you want bass heavy model and if you will fit them into your ears. Thank you for attention.